Hi, everybody. It is April 3rd, Friday of week 3 of these one-on-one of these free tapping support sessions. And today's session was supposed to be a guest visit from Dr. Melissa Hankins, who is an incredible tapping practitioner. And we got Zoom bombed, but it was like not funny. It wasn't cute. It was gross, and they hijacked the share screen thing. I know now I'm understanding what actually happened. Um, so we ended the meeting. We cut the meeting short. All the future meetings will have a different address and will require a password and all sorts of security. So stay tuned for that. But what I wanted to share with you, I guess, was how it made me feel and what we did to handle it. I was really fortunate to have Melissa on the call with me because even though no one else could really join in because I created a new Zoom link, but it was too late to share or for anyone to see it. She's a tapping specialist, and tapping helps with trauma. And this really felt horrible to me. It felt very violating. I felt nauseated. My fight or flight response was going off. And it was really gross. Earlier this week, someone Zoom bombed me. They were like taking bong hits, and it was funny, and I was able to get rid of them. But these people had more advanced, sophisticated knowledge. And even though it wasn't a physical trauma, it wasn't a physical violation, it felt very personal and it felt very violating. And we decided not to post the actual session because people who do have trauma, who have been violated and assaulted, this could be very triggering for them. And so it was a very important lesson for me on Zoom safety, and taking more privacy measures so that these sessions can continue in the future. But also, if you have trauma and you find yourself getting triggered by anything, some of the advice that Dr. Hankins gave during the video was to keep yourself grounded. So keep yourself in the present moment. Don't shut your eyes while you're tapping, because you don't want to put yourself back into that trauma again. You want to keep yourself in the here and now. So touch your shirt, touch the table, touch something that has texture so that you can keep yourself in the present moment. You can tap on, I'm safe, I'm protected, I'm here, I'm safe, I feel so safe. And you can tap on that kind of thing to kind of calm yourself down. And of course, if you really have severe trauma and it's being triggered, you can call your mental health professional if you see a psychiatrist or a therapist. If you don't, call your primary care provider. And there's lots of resources that are available to you. Trauma is serious. It's major. People have been through a lot, and this whole time might be very triggering for people. So particularly as we're stuck at home, in situations that may not be that safe for people. So my heart and love goes out to everybody who has experienced trauma before, to everybody who, we're all in this together, experiencing this COVID pandemic. Everybody's experience is very different. Obviously, there's some people out there who find themselves compelled to really, be disruptors, and they're patting themselves on the back or doing whatever it is they're doing. I'm trying not to take on that energy. But for anyone who is using Zoom for anything, a few things I've learned in the last 10 minutes, as wonderful, kind people have sent me articles. I already knew I didn't have a password or registration because I wanted this to be accessible to everybody, but obviously that's not an option. So different things for Zoom. You can set as the meeting host, meeting password. People can register for it, which for me, I don't think will work because people can register anyway and then still show up and show their genitals or whatever. You can set the meeting, either each meeting or your whole Zoom setting, so that they're not allowed to share their screen, because basically they hijacked my screen and started showing stuff, and I couldn't click them. Like I was panicking and trying to click the X. I was trying to close out their screen, but it was a screen share. So obviously I couldn't do it. And I was panicking in the moment. So there's ways you can remove individual people, but if they're savvy, they're going to be screen sharing and doing all sorts of nasty stuff. So you can remove individual people if you hover over 3 little dots by their face, right where they are on the meeting. You can make it so that only you are able to screen share, and no one else can. That way they can't hijack and their screen stays small. And there's a waiting room functionality, which I don't think I can use because I don't think you can waiting room and host at the same time. It's almost like you need someone manning the waiting room and someone hosting, but that's something you can do as well. So there's good resources. And I'll try to share some of the links in that video. To people who are finding themselves compelled to Zoom bomb in a nasty, offensive way, I really hope that you find other ways to direct your energy in a more positive way that doesn't violate people. And I know this is a hard time for all of us, and I wish you all a safe journey through this pandemic, and hope that you stop behaving in that way. Whatever needs you have that are being fulfilled by that, maybe there's other kinder ways to do that don't affect other people. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thanks again to Dr. Hankins for joining me and for tapping me through it. It was really quite a blessing to have her there to tap me through it. Again, for anyone feeling trauma, you are not alone. Reach out for help. Ground yourself. Keep yourself in the present moment. Keep your eyes open. And by grounding yourself, I mean like really get into your five senses and keep your eyes open. What are you feeling, smelling, seeing, hearing, and the fifth sense is tasting, I guess. And you can tap on positive statements about how calm you feel. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.